The man on the ridge is wearing the same red jacket. He waves at the helicopter, a wide, friendly motion, as if you are old friends. Below him, the cliff drops 1,000 feet to a river of jagged rock. He is not supposed to be here. Here's how you got there. You fly search and rescue for the county. 10 years in the Coast Guard pulling sailors from the North Atlantic taught you how to handle a helicopter when the sky and sea wanted you due date. Now you fly an Airbus Hone 125 over the calm green mountains of the Pacific Northwest. It is a good job. You sleep in your own bed. You see your daughter every morning. Your call sign is Talon 2. Your crew chief and paramedic is a man named Martinez. You have flown together for 3 years. You trust him with your life, and he trusts you with his. It is a simple, clean arrangement. The first call for Daniel Miller comes on a Tuesday in October. The weather is turning. A storm front is pushing in from the coast, and the temperature in the Blackwood Range is dropping fast. Miller is a day hiker, 28 years old, an accountant from the city. He went up the Blackwood Peak Trail for a day trip and never came back. You and Martinez are in the air within 20 minutes. The 125 cuts through the wind. Below, the forest is a dense, dark carpet. Finding one man in that is like finding one specific needle in a universe of needles. You begin a creeping line search pattern, flying low and slow along the trail's presumed path. The clouds are a low gray ceiling forcing you down into the canyons. Rain begins to streak the canopy. Martinez has his face pressed to the glass, scanning. You focus on the instruments, on the feel of the cyclic in your right hand, the collective in your left. The machine is an extension of your body. You know its limits. You know the weather's intent. Got nothing on visual, Martinez says over the headset. His voice is calm. It is always calm. Let's try the flyer. You nod, though he cannot see you. You engage the forward-looking infrared camera. The world outside turns into a monochrome landscape of heat signatures. Cool gray trees, a cold black river. You are looking for a spark of white. A human being. 2 hours pass. The fuel gauge is your new enemy. The weather is getting worse. The wind wants to throw your helicopter into a granite wall. This is the moment in every search where you have to make a choice. The point where the risk to your crew begins to outweigh the hope of a rescue. You are almost there. Talon 2, what's your status? The dispatcher's voice is a crackle in your ear. Searching Sector 4. Visibility is deteriorating. We have another 30 minutes of fuel before we have to RTB. Return to base. Copy, Talon 2. Then Martinez speaks, his voice tight with focus. Wait. Go back. Starboard side by that rockfall. You bank the aircraft a smooth, controlled turn. The camera swivels. And there it is. A pale shape, huddled at the base of a scree slope. It is not moving. It is a small, weak signal, but it is there. I've got him, you say. He's not moving. I see him, Martinez confirms. No place to land. It'll have to be a hoist. You maneuver the 125 into a hover over the target. This is the hardest part. The wind is a physical force, shoving the aircraft. You fight it with constant minute adjustments. Your feet dance on the anti-torque pedals. Your hands are steady on the controls. You are a pillar of calm in a world of violent motion. Martinez unclips his harness and prepares the rescue hoist. He gives you a thumbs up. He is ready. You watch the wind, the trees, the proximity of the rock face. You find the balance point. I'm stable, you say. Send him down. You watch Martinez descend on the steel cable, a pendulum swinging in the storm. He disappears below the skids. Your job is to hold this exact position in space, to ignore the rain and the wind and the engine's strain. You are a rock, Minutes feel like hours. The radio clicks. Pilot, I have the subject. He's hypothermic. Unconscious but breathing. Martinez's voice is strained from the wind. Prepare for extraction. Copy. Dao, Kasha, or no. Need say. Coming up. You watch the cable grow taut. The winch strains, pulling the weight of 2 men. You add a little power, keeping the hover perfect. They rise out of the trees, Martinez cradling the limp form of the hiker. The man is wrapped in a red jacket. His face is pale, his lips blue. Martinez gets him inside. The door slides shut. The noise in the cabin drops. Martinez is already at work, cutting away wet clothes, wrapping the man in thermal blankets, checking vitals. Let's get him out of here, Martinez yells over the engine. He's in bad shape. You do not need to be told twice. You pull away from the mountain, turning toward the hospital in the valley. The flight is fast. You land on the hospital's helipad. The emergency team is waiting. They take the man on a gurney and disappear inside. You and Martinez fly back to the airfield in silence. The rain has stopped. It was a good mission. A textbook rescue. You saved a man's life. You feel the quiet, deep satisfaction of your work. You go home. You kiss your wife. You read your daughter a bedtime story. A week later, you see a story on the local news. Daniel Miller, the rescued hiker, stands on the steps of the hospital. He smiles for the cameras. He thanks the brave crew of the sheriff's department helicopter. He looks healthy, alive. You feel a flicker of pride. This is why you do the job. The second call comes the following Wednesday. A geologist with a mining company is overdue. His name is Arthur Croft. He was doing a survey in the northern part of the Blackwood Range, 40 miles from where you found Miller. It is a remote, inaccessible area. No trails. Just rock and wilderness. The weather is perfect. A clear blue sky. You and Martinez are in the air by 9 a.m. The mood is relaxed. A simple search. You fly over stunning empty country. Granite peaks claw at the sky. You fly the grid. Croft was supposed to be working. You see nothing. No sign of his camp. No sign of his equipment. You circle wider. Martinez scans with binoculars. This guy's way out here, Martinez says. Company said he was experienced, knew what he was doing. You fly for another hour. Nothing. You are about to radio back to base when you see it. On a high knife-edge ridge, miles from the search area, is a flash of color. A spot of red against the gray rock. What do you think? You ask Martinez. Could be a piece of gear. Could be anything. Let's check it out. You bank the on 125 toward the ridge. As you get closer, the shape resolves itself. It is not gear. It is a person. A man, standing perfectly still, watching you approach. Odd spot for a stroll, Martinez murmurs. You bring the helicopter in closer, slowing your approach. The man does not move. He is wearing a red jacket. Your mind makes the connection before you can stop it. You push the thought away. It is a coincidence. Lots of people own red jackets. You are 50 yards away now. The rotor wash blasts the ridge, kicking up dust and loose stones. The man does not flinch. He just stands there, and you see his face. It is Daniel Miller, the man you pulled off a different mountain, unconscious and half dead, a week ago. Martinez says at first, his voice a disbelieving whisper. No way. Is that? It's him, you say. Your hands are suddenly slick on the controls. He is not in distress. He looks calm, healthy. He is standing on a sliver of rock with a 1,000-foot drop on either side, and he looks like he is waiting for a bus. There is no gear. No backpack. No way he could have gotten up here. He lifts a hand. He waves. It is a wide, friendly, familiar motion. And then he smiles. It is not the smile of a man who needs rescuing. It is something else entirely. It is a smile of recognition. A smile that says, "Ye was expecting you." Your training takes over. Your voice is level. Talon 2, to dispatch Chai. We have a visual on a male, unidentified, on the north ridge of Mount Sheridan. He appears to be in a precarious position but is not signaling for distress. Copy, Talon 2. Can you make contact? You flip a switch. The helicopter's loudspeaker crackles to life. Your voice booms across the ridge. Sir, this is the county sheriff's department. Are you in need of assistance? Daniel Miller just keeps smiling. He gives a small shake of his head. No, when I. Do I so. No be meet share. Dada I'm there. What the hell is he doing? Martinez says. How did he get up here? I don't know. The professional calm is slipping. This is wrong. Every instinct you have is screaming that this is wrong. I'm putting a skid down. I want you to talk to him. You can't land here. Not landing. Just touching a skid on that flat section to your left. Keep your harness on. Just talk to him. You ease the 125 sideways. It is a difficult maneuver, requiring absolute precision. The skid touches the rock with a faint scrape. You hold it there, the helicopter light on its feet, ready to pull away in an instant. Martinez opens the door. The wind and engine noise flood the cabin. Sir, Daniel, what are you doing up here? Miller turns his head slowly. The smile is gone. His expression is blank. He looks at Martinez. Then he looks past him, into the cockpit. Directly at you. He says something. His voice is too quiet to hear over the rotors. What did he say? You shout to Martinez. Martinez leans back in, his face pale. He said he brought me back. Martinez looks at you. What does that mean? Who brought him back? Before you can answer, Miller takes one step back, toward the edge. He does it without fear, without hesitation. Whoa! Martinez yells. You react instantly, pulling collective, lifting the skid off the rock. The helicopter jumps upward. You bank away from the ridge, putting distance between your aircraft and the impossible man. You circle back. The ridge is empty. He is gone. You and Martinez scan the area. The cliff face. The rocks below. There is nothing. No sign of him. A man cannot simply vanish from an open ridge. Did he fall? Martinez asks, his voice shaking slightly. I don't know, you say. I didn't see him fall, did you? No, he was just gone. You fly a search pattern for the next hour. You see nothing. You report it. A subject sighted, then lost. You leave out the part about him being Daniel Miller. It sounds insane. Back at the base, the silence in the debriefing room is heavy. The sheriff listens to your report. He is a practical man. He chalks it up to a misidentification. A trick of the light. Mighty. But you and Martinez know what you saw. That night, you cannot sleep. You sit at your kitchen table, the house dark and quiet. You open your laptop. You search for Daniel Miller. You find the news stories about his rescue. You find his social media profile. Pictures of him with friends, hiking, living a normal life. Then you find another link. An obituary. From a local funeral home. Daniel Miller. Age 28. Died. He died 2 days after his rescue. Complications from severe hypothermia. Multiple organ failure. The funeral was last Saturday. Your blood runs cold. The man in the hospital, the man on the news, that was him. But he died. He died before you saw him on that ridge. You brought his body back. But what was inside it? What did you bring down from the mountain? A floorboard creaks upstairs. Your daughter having a nightmare. You go to her room. Sit by her bed until her breathing evens out.